Hi everyone, welcome to Slice of Life. My name is Dabney. I'm the young adult librarian at the Twin Lakes Library System and I use they, them pronouns. For today's episode, we are going to be continuing the series about the manga series you can binge at our library. And today I am focusing on 3 Slice of Life manga. So, Slice of Life. What is it? It is basically manga or anime that is about everyday events and everyday characters. So, you're not going to have any super powered characters. You're not going to have sci-fi or fantasy elements. You're not going to have a murder, mystery, crime type of thing. And also, while there might be some romance in the storyline, these are not like romance series. And yeah, so we're gonna jump right into it. And these are all series that I personally love a lot. And I think while one of them does have like a romance storyline, the other two don't. So starting off with one of my very favorites, Barakamon. So this is volume 18. There's 18 volumes in this series. The first couple volumes were checked out. That's why I don't have them to show you, but I can show you on my phone that there's kind of a glare, but that's what volume 1 looks like. So let me just read you the summary really quick and talk to you all about it. Also, this is rated all ages, so they think the people who rate these deemed it's appropriate for whoever to read it. So yeah, definitely cool for teens. There's also an anime based on this that we have in our collection. Alright, so first things first, visitors are supposed to come in through the front door. For a certain reason, a handsome young calligrapher by the name of Seishu Hanada uproots himself and moves to an island on the westernmost edge of Japan. Sensei, as he comes to be known, is a city boy through and through and has never experienced rural life until now. And by the looks of it, he has much to learn. Luckily, he has a willing teacher in Naru, the energetic, expert islander, to help show him the ropes. But can Sensei keep up with the plucky first grader, or will he get schooled? Here unfolds a heartfelt island comedy about a gruff on the outside, soft on the inside urbanite teacher and his new, unfailingly kind island neighbors. So this series, reasons why I love it, it's a comedy, and usually, I don't know, comedy for me is really hit or miss. To me, it takes a lot to get me to actually laugh. In this series, I laugh so much, and I think part of it is there's just so many great characters. So as you can see from the cover, since this is the final volume, they're kind of showcasing all the characters. This is our main character, Hanada. And then this is the other, main character, Naru. And these are the other people who live on the island. Yeah. And so, some of the comedy is that Honda, he just has this inaccurate estimation of his abilities. He moves onto this island, from the city, and he thinks he knows how to do things, and he does not know how to do anything. He, is very at a loss as far as living on his own and living in a rural environment. And he's kind of come there to prove himself and try and improve his calligraphy. Kind of at the beginning of the volume, he receives a really harsh critique on his work and reacts very badly and unprofessionally, and is kind of now in like island exile to like redeem himself. And as soon as he moves in, his house, he discovers, is the hangout location for like all of the kids on the island. And so like Naru's kind of like the ringleader of like the little kids, but then there's like some middle school and high school students who also come there to hang out. And so, Honda, who is like a single, like, yeah, he's an only child. And you find out through the prequel, well, you find out in the story, but like he has like one friend basically. And so anyways, he doesn't have great social skills. And so all of a sudden he's like surrounded by like these very kind but nosy like neighbors. He's surrounded by kids, and he's trying to like, adult, even though he's not very competent. And I don't know, it's just really funny and lighthearted and sweet. And I love like all the characters. And I also love, watching Honda kind of grow and mature as he goes along. And if you want to know more about him, there is a prequel manga, which you can read either before you read Barakamon or after or throughout. It doesn't actually matter, but it's called Honda-kun. And so that shows him in high school. And I really wish I'd brought that one with me, but it's hilarious. I think there's also an anime for that. And to me, the funniest thing about it is he's in high school and he thinks that everyone hates him, and actually everyone thinks he's like really awesome and really cool. And he kind of unknowingly has like this posse that of like people who are his number one fans, who are just like kind of always like watching out for him, but at the same time kind of accidentally causing problems for him. It's just really, to me, really funny. And it's 7 volumes. I like it a lot, but you can, this whole time he just has like really low self-esteem. But by the end of it, he finds out about like all of his fans, and that kind of like makes his self-esteem go a little bit too high, which is where he is at the start of this series. He thinks a bit too much of himself. But anyways, it's great. I love it. Also, this is not necessarily canon. Like, they don't use these words in the series. But I kind of headcanon that he is aromantic, asexual, just because like he never dates anyone. He's not interested in dating. Like, there's a part where like his parents are trying to get him set up in an arranged marriage, and he's just like not even remotely interested. People try to set him up on dates, and he's just like, no, I want to go stay on my island and work on calligraphy forever with these random children who have adopted me. So that's another reason why I like it. Okay, moving on. We have behind the scenes. This is rated for teens. There's 7 volumes in total. And I was trying to remember. Okay, so the art, if it looks familiar, the person who does this series also does Ouran High School Host Club, which is a completely different vibe from this. I kind of thought about including it, but I didn't. But I'll probably talk about it some at a later time. Anyways, this one, let me just read you the back. Ryanmaru Kurisu, I'm sorry if I mispronounced that, comes from a family of hardy, rough and tumble fisher folk, and he sticks out like a delicate artistic sore thumb. It's given him a raging inferiority complex and a permanently pessimistic outlook. Now that he's in college, he's hoping to find a sense of belonging, but after a whole life of being left out, does he even know how to fit in? It's 2 months into Renmar's college career, and if he's learned one thing, it's that he's really uncomfortable around other people. But when he stumbles into a zombie mob attack, he's totally forced out of his comfort zone. Of course, it's just a movie shoot, but when he wakes up from his ignoble faint, he's been whisked away behind the scenes with the art squad. Could this group of weirdos be what Ranmaro's been looking for all his life? Okay, I love this one a lot. As it said, it's about the main character, and he ends up being recruited into the art squad. So each volume kind of follows the squad as they've been given new projects to work on, and it's really great. Like if you love making, if you love arts and crafts, they go into all kinds of things. Usually this group is helping out like the film club or the theater club or different organizations in the college. They like hire them to like help them with their productions. And so, yeah, it's really great. So it is like the behind the scenes look at how things are done. They also do stuff like help set up festivals, and like I think they did a haunted house at one time. And all the characters are just really cool, and they all have different, talents and specialties. Some of them are just really great at everything. Some of them are great at like doing, costume makeup or sewing or, making props. So I just think that's really cool. And this one, it doesn't really have like, a romance story to it. It's pretty much just all revolving around this group of friends and yeah, just building up that friendship group. And I really like that. You kind of get backstories of the different characters and, also the main character, it's about him like building up his confidence and just finding a place where he belongs. And I don't know, it's a good one, and it is funny as well. And yeah, again, if you just like making stuff, this is really fascinating. They do like, I don't know if you can tell, this guy has like a steampunk like gauntlet or whatever on his arm. They do a lot of stuff with steampunk that's really fun. And then my final series is Otomen. I think I pronounced that right. This is 18 volumes, rated for teens. This one does have a love story to it, but what I like about it is, let me read you the summary and then we'll talk about what I like about it. Asuka Masamune is a guy who loves girly things: sewing, knitting, making cute stuffed animals, and reading shoujo comics. But in a world where boys are expected to act manly, Asuka must hide his beloved hobbies and play the part of a masculine jock instead. Ryo Miyakozuka, on the other hand, is a girl who can't sew or bake a cake to save her life. Asuka finds himself drawn to Ryo, but she likes only the manliest of men. Can Asuka ever show her his true self? Can Asuka ever show his true self to anyone, much less to the girl that he's falling for? Okay, so I love the art style for this. First of all, this is like the first page. This is him when he's little, and he's just like sitting there happily sewing, like he loves to cook. But you find out pretty early on that his mother is very strict with him and is like, you can't do anything girly, you have to be like a manly man. And you find out that's because like his dad left when he was little, and I can't remember exactly how it goes in the story because this is one of the early series I read, so it's been many years. But I believe his dad is trans and ends up transitioning later on, like I think maybe in the last series. It's been a long time, but anyway, his mom reacts really badly to this and is therefore like pressuring him to be like super masculine. So he's like keeping, you know, his true interests like to himself. But as the story unfolds, like you get to meet a lot of other characters who are similar to him. Like they kind of present this very like, I guess, masculine facade to the world while having like what are considered feminine interests. So you've got like one guy who creates shoujo manga, but like at school he acts like he's a total playboy. You've got another guy who is Asuka's kendo rival, but he absolutely loves doing makeup. And you've got one guy who is like a flower enthusiast. They call him, I think, the flower evangelist. Like he's obsessed with flowers. And on the opposite hand, there's an underclassman who's like very small and very cute and girly looking, but he's all like, I am a manly man, and wants to learn like martial arts. So yeah, it's just fun kind of learning about these characters and this like exploration of, you know, gender roles and, you know, the pressures that society kind of puts on people as far as like how they act and present, and just kind of a lot to think about while at the same time having you know, pretty cute, lighthearted, everyday stories. And I think I don't know, it's been so long since I've read this, and I actually really would like to go back and reread it, because I did enjoy it a lot. I don't know, I was trying to look for more pictures in here. But it's funny how, like, the guy and the girl, they're just such total opposites from each other. Like, there he made her a bento box. Amazing. So, yeah, these are my recommendations for, like, you know, funny, upbeat, cute, happy slice of life. You know, these are not going to stress you out, hopefully. They're just kind of like good escapist fun, I suppose. But yeah, that is all for me, except that let me see if Corbet will come say hi. She's been sitting on the bed behind me and she's so tired. So yeah, thanks for tuning in, and we will see you all next week. Bye!